Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Mass Effect 3, the Expanded Galaxy Edition. So last time we played, we went to the Rachni Relay to figure out what was going up there with the missing Krogan squad. Turns out that Krogan squad, Arlat Company, was being led by Grunt. And we found that the Reapers had captured the last Rachni Queen, the one we spared on Novaria. And we're forcing her to breed babies so that the Reapers could immediately indoctrinate and Reaperfy them into Ravagers. Hello, Sovereign. Welcome to Strem, but only in spirit. Okay, I get it. So, at the unfortunate cost of most of Arlat Company, we freed the Rachni Queen, and she's now pledging herself and her remaining children that weren't Reaperfied to building the Crucible. Essentially, so she can tell the Reapers to go fuck off and never touch her or her children again. Grunt is currently receiving medical treatment. He survived the encounter, so that's good. We also swung by Arcturus, or the Arcturus system, and helped evacuate civilians off of Benning after it came under attack by supposedly rogue Cerberus forces. During the evacuation, we found the body of Ambassador Asoba's son, who sacrificed his life in the line of duty to allow his squad and other civilians to escape. But now, we've got a couple things on the agenda for today. We're going to start with the N7 Cerberus attack. There's an old, abandoned surface-to-orbit cannon that Cerberus has taken over. So we're going to roll in and take it back. Then, Primarch Victus wants us to rescue a platoon led by his nephew that crash landed on Tachanka. He won't tell us why they're there. All he said is that completing their mission is a matter of galactic peace. And in a war against the Reapers, he's either got massively skewed priorities, which I don't think he's got, because, I mean, he wants to pull the Krogan in on this, or there's something there that might jeopardize the entire alliance if not taken care of. But first, we're going to well, actually, no, yeah, we can, depending upon where we are, we might just go straight to Tachanka. First, let's see if we need to do the rounds. And while ads are going off, this is the perfect time to do them.
The Turians will hold. Pound for pound, they're the best fighting force in the galaxy.
Pound for pound is irrelevant, given the significantly higher mass of Reaper forces overall.
That's why we're bringing in the Krogan. Commander.
Shepard, you are staring.
Okay, so apparently we don't need to do the rounds. Good to know. check our mail, though. Okay, nothing there. Sounds like cut back from making coffee to more ads. Go me. How goes? You know, it goes. You're here, yay! Yeah, we haven't really done much other than recap. I've learned not to do much of anything for the first 5 minutes of a stream of importance because of ads.
Look at that galaxy map. Do you know how many strategy games are built from that interface?
You play strategy games?
A few. Most are too flashy though. I prefer chess. I have a set made from rose quartz and hematite back home. I like the feel of something solid in my hands.
Well, now that I know your weakness, we may have to try a game.
It'd be more fun than playing Edie. Edie doesn't sweat.
You sweat playing chess?
Depends on how much fun we're having.
The two, I mean, the person I'd love to see Trainer play in chess, because the battle would be legendary, would actually be Gale from, or Gale Decarios from Baldur's Gate. Granted, they call it land sport, but it's basically fucking chess. I think that would be fun to watch, or extremely boring to watch because they'll take like hours to plan their moves. I'm not sure which. I'd probably have it recorded and then watch the highlights when they actually do something. But I'm pretty sure that Trainer would be, you know, sweating. Just not from the reason she wants to. No, we need it. Yeah, I only bring that up because yesterday off stream, I'm testing out the hand cannon mod on Baldur's Gate 3. It's fucking overpowered, by the way. So when we finally get around to doing the Lorac at Carolina, we're doing it on Tactician. Because otherwise Carolina will just wipe an entire encounter in one turn. But I was doing the Worms Rock Dragon quest, and part of that is you have to checkmate something in 2 moves. And since I'm not that great of a chess player, I do the dumb thing and like, oh wait, the Black King piece is weak to electricity. Lightning arrow. Dead. I win. Unconventional, but okay. Nothing in the rules said you couldn't, you know, physically attack the chess piece. But if Gale's there, he'll tell you exactly which moves you need to do. And if you take his advice, he really likes it. Because, like, I'm actually helping.
Not sure what to think about that little mech dog roaming the ship.
You mean Sophie? I think she's cute.
What purpose does she serve?
I guess I have a soft spot for worthless dogs. Look how long I've been with you.
Hey, Ken. Take the fucking hint. I am oblivious to love, and even I got that one. I would make a great shonen anime protagonist. Not physically, mind you, but, you know, I fill the no charisma, um, oblivious to love. Your flirtations have no effect on me because I'm too dumb to recognize it.
It seems you believed Protheans built the mass relays. The Reapers are cunning in their deception, allowing life to flourish, century upon century, letting us believe ourselves the masters of the cosmos. Then the truth becomes known. There are monsters in the dark spaces, and we are their prey.
As a wise Jedi Master once said, there's always a bigger fish.
Hey, Esteban, for your shuttle being so stealthy and all, you sure do get shot at a lot.
Well, the UT-47A stealth systems only internalize heat and high-band emissions. So while few sensors can pick us up, our cover is blown as soon as someone looks up.
Time for an upgrade.
Most scanners and tracking systems don't operate in mid-range frequencies. Sure, maybe we've been shot at, but we haven't been shot down.
Yet. Lucky for us, you're almost as good a pilot as you think you are.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
I was going to say that the Mass Effect universe doesn't really have optical camouflage, but then I was like, wait, no, the Infiltrator exists, so does Kasumi. So maybe it only works on like a personal level, but then I was like, that wouldn't make sense. Usually tech starts out big and then gets small. So my guess is that it's not energy efficient for a starship because it would just radiate too much heat. So yeah, you could be visibly invisible, but your infrared beacon would be so powerful that Vietnam era sidewinders would lock onto you and not the sun.
Rex is a badass. I bet he's got some real interesting stories to tell. More than something else. His mouth moves faster than a frog on a hot rock in the middle of summer.
Alrighty then.
Can't believe Cerberus would open fire on civilians like that.
I can.
As twisted and insane as his logic might be, I thought the elusive man was trying to save humanity. I guess he's willing to sacrifice anyone to win.
I don't know how much of the elusive man is still, you know, there versus how much is the Reapers telling him what to do. Alright.
Stop beating yourself up. It was crazy of me to ask you to join the Normandy back then.
But I let you down. I let Shepard down. I let everyone listed on that memorial wall down. You had the courage to support Shepard. Joker did. Garrus and Tali did.
But Caden didn't. Liara didn't. Were they cowards? I think not. Greg, you're one of the bravest and most loyal men I know. You were meant to be right now. We have a war to win. So clear your head and focus.
Okay, you win. It will not be mentioned again.
So, of the two that she mentioned not backing us in Mass Effect 2, Caden didn't support us because he was essentially gaslit indirectly by the Elusive Man himself. Because the Elusive Man not only manipulated Shepard into working with Cerberus by closing all other avenues of support, he isolated Shepard from everyone else by insinuating that Shepard completely went along with the Cerberus agenda. We did not. Hackett knew it because he's like, yeah, no, Shepard's not working with Cerberus, he's using Cerberus. Anderson had that little nagging doubt, but the fact that we kept sending him intel probably helped. But Caden didn't get any of that. So as far as he knew, we did turn traitor. He's coming around now. I mean, surrendering ourselves to the Alliance after blowing up the Collector base and handing the Alliance the single most advanced stealth ship in the galaxy free of charge probably is helping. And the fact that we were handpicked by Anderson to lead the fight against the Reapers, it's definitely helping. And as for Liara, she didn't join us because she had a personal vendetta against the Shadow Broker. A valid vendetta, mind you. But if it wasn't for that, she probably would have joined us on the Normandy back in Mass Effect 2.
Hello, Commander.
Commander.
Alright. Well, let's get some shooting done. Now, where are we? We're at the Citadel. Okay. See, Irune is in the Atheon cluster, which I don't think... I mean, we can go there, but I don't think we can actually pick up anything there yet. I think the Reapers have to take it over first. Petra Nebula. Let's go here.
Commander, casualties were heavy in this system. There may be survivors.
Signal confirmed.
Elysium. Oh, we got a salvage. Searching for a colony to retire to. Alliance hero John Grissom said he wanted the one where the sun has the decency to set at a reasonable time. Elysium fulfilled this criteria and many more, featuring low gravity, intolerable atmospheric pressure, and a suitable climate. Humans and aliens flocked to the Alpine paradise early in its colonial years, and the planet remains a vibrant hub for both visitors and permanent residents. Security is a constant concern for Elysium. The planet suffered several pirate or mercenary attacks, including the Skillian Blitz of 2176. Elysium's airspace is secured by mobile planetary defense cannons. Its armed starship complement is relatively light. Material and volunteers from Elysium formed part of the Alliance Second Fleet, which was stationed near Arcturus before the fleet was destroyed by Reapers. Colony founded 2160. Population pre-invasion 8.3 million. Population in the orbital stations pre-invasion 223,500. Capital Illyria. It is 1.5 years Earth years for its year. Day length about 28 hours. And its average surface temperature is 46.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That is fucking cold. At least for me. My comfortable temperature is like 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. But anyway, Elysium is also where a war hero Shepard, which I think Victor is, gets part of their background. They single-handedly hold off Batarian pirates until reinforcements can show up, saving thousands of colonists in kind of like a hold the line sort of thing. This is also where Shepard gets the Star of Terra. Yeah, we got the Shanghai. Now, where is the local cluster? Trying to figure something out here. Nope. Crap. Okay, well, screw it. Our missions. Well, I'll figure it out later. Okay. Well, I did the. Let's see here. 100%, 80%. Why is that 80? Oh, that's right. I think I deliberately left a fuel thing here. Yeah, because we're gonna need it for when we go do Samara's thing. Alright, Krogan DMZ it is. That feeling when you've played certain games so many times that you can't really remember what exactly you've done in a given playthrough.
I found something.
Yay, we got fuel probably.
Signal confirmed.
Okay, let's pick up the gas. I think this is the thing for Barlavan. Okay, so we got all the war assets from the DMZ. Alright. Tachanka. Scarred by bombardment, craters, radioactive rubble, and choking ash, salt flats, and alkaline sea, Tachanka can barely support life. Thousands of years ago, life grew in the fierce abundance under the F-class star Arlak, a Rake clan word meaning Eye of Wrath. Tree analogs grew in thick jungles, their roots growing out of shallow, silty seas. Life fed upon life in an evolutionary crucible. This world died in nuclear firestorms after the Krogan split the atom. A, quote, little ice age of nuclear winter killed off much of the remaining plant life. In recent centuries, many Krogan have returned to their homeworld. The reduced albedo has caused global temperatures to rise. In order to maintain livable temperatures, a vast shroud was assembled at the L1 Lagrange point. It's maintained by the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission, CDEM, which is based on orbiting battle stations. CDEM advisory: visitors to Tachanka land at their own risk. The CDEM will not attempt to extract citizens threatened by clan warfare. Travel advisory. The ecology of Tachanka is deadly. Nearly every native species engages in some predatory behavior. Even the remaining vegetation is carnivorous. Travel beyond guarded areas is strongly discouraged. Population, 2.1 billion. Capital, currently Erdnot since 2183. CDEM garrison, 2,400 in orbital battle stations. Tachanka's year is 16.7 Earth years long. Its day length is 21.5 hours. Surface temperature, on average, is 161.5 degrees Fahrenheit. In the shrouded areas, it's 96.8. What Tachanka, like, the descriptions of pre-nuclear war Tachanka kind of remind me of is, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, way back in the day, there was an expansion called the Shards of Alara, where the plane of Alara had kind of broken into 5 distinct shards, each shard having only access to only 3 colors of magic instead of, the usual 5. The block focused on tricolored decks, kind of like how Ravnica focused on dual color decks. And one of the shards was called Jund. It had access to black, red, and green magic. And basically, it was survival of the fittest. Everything fed upon everything else. Hell, the shard's mechanic was Devour, where when you cast a creature, and it you could have it devour another creature or more creatures on your side of the field, and it would gain +1/+1 counters equal to the amount of things it ate. So that kind of reminds me of pre-war Tachanka. Oh, and also the apex predators on Jund were fucking dragons. Kind of like how in Tachanka, it's the Thresher Maw. Hey, let's go kick some Cerberus ass. Alright, let's go ahead and bring in Rex. And we'll also bring in Garrus. Okay, we're good with my armor. My weapons, let's give Rex his weapons. I mean, it may not be the most tactically useful shotgun, but giving a Krogan anything other than the M300 Claymore is kind of blasphemous. So we're giving him the Claymore. And then for pistols, what pistol should we have? Carnifex, Alliance Eagle. I don't have the Executioner yet. That would probably be the best one for him, but alright, let's give him the Suppressor. Because even in the Citadel DLC, he admits that gun packs a punch. So I think he's impressed enough by it that if I gave it to him, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll take it. Alright. And Rex's powers. Okay. Well, we definitely want to have this maxed. Let's see here. Health and shield or weapon damage. Let's go with health and shield. Power damage. Fortification or squad bonus. We'll do the squad bonus. Alright. Barrier. Do blast effect. Shield recharge. And damage reduction. I'll do carnage. Damage. In-cap. And then damage. Next we'll do lift grenade. Do damage. Why am I pronouncing damage French? I have no idea. I'll do max grenades. Oh, and I can't upgrade it because I don't have enough points. Okay, well. Stimulant pack. Damage. That's it. Okay. Confirm.
Shepard services landing forces away from the Tachanka battlefields. Their target seems to be an ancient ground-to-space cannon facility that hasn't been used since the Krogan rebellions. The site has no obvious military advantage, and the Krogan are spread too thin to deal with it.
Do we know what Cerberus is up to?
No, but we do know that Cerberus doesn't act without a plan. Get in there and stop them. Find out what they're up to while you're at it.
We'll get it done.
See to it. Hack it out.
Looks like Cerberus got that cannon operational, Commander. I'll go back.
Yeah, I noticed.
Get on. All right. Let's find the control room for those cannons. Kill anything in our way. Sounds simple enough.
Let's do...
Inbound Cerberus cruiser. The cannon fire is clearing the way. If that ship makes it to bombardment range, the Krogan resistance is in trouble.
Keep track of it, Lieutenant.
On it.
Fuck your shields. Said fuck your shields. Hey Rex, maybe you should, you know, not engage the turret in melee. Just an observation there. I like how I can arc my powers over cover if I have enough room. Fuck your turret.
Control center secure. Then I think it's time to test this cannon.
Oh, there's the Cerberus trucks. Before I activate it,
Not the kind of Krogan relic I expected to find. They're pulling the plug. You'll need to get the power back on. Let's move.
just wondering about this flank. Oh shit. There we go.
We're cutting it close, Commander. I've rerouted the power to the main console. Heading back now.
Okay, what I want to know is how they took the command console back with this many people. Where do they come in from? It's a video game, Raz. Just stop thinking about it. Well, one thing I'll say about Rex is he's keeping the Nemesis in place. Alright, I think we got everybody. Good job, everybody.
Commander, cruiser initiating bombardment. Cannon control restored. Targeting enabled. Coordinates, Lieutenant. Uploaded. Firing.
It's a video game. Obviously, a Star Trek style teleportation that hitherto is not mentioned at all.
Right.
Exactly. It's in the script.
Shepard, with those Krogan cannons operational, Cerberus has actually given us the advantage in that system. The enemy's pulling back, but we think they'll try to seize the facility again.
Seems likely.
I'm sending an Alliance team to keep it secure.
That Alliance team in universe is actually the multiplayer.
Good work, Commander.
A lot of these N7 missions that you can do in the single player will open up. Oh, hey, look, the Atheon cluster fell. Will open up the corresponding multiplayer missions. And multiplayer in this case isn't PvP, it's co-op PvE. Basically horde mode. Yeah, the MP was actually connected to the SP then. Yeah. And in the original game, the better you did at multiplayer, the higher your galactic readiness was, and the more effective your war assets were. Yeah. If you consistently got good scores in multiplayer, your galactic readiness got higher, and the higher your galactic readiness, the more effective your war assets were, because there's this thing called EMS, effective military score. And if you didn't play multiplayer at all, your EMS was at 50%. So the only way to get perfect destroy in that regard was to have all the DLC, the extended cut, and do everything and get every single war asset you possibly could. And then you could get perfect destroy. If you were really good at multiplayer, you could just do the base story and get perfect destroy, because you'd have enough war assets and they'd count for full. Legendary Edition, when they got rid of multiplayer, they got rid of galactic readiness, so your war assets count for full. However, counting for full is basically what baseline EMS was back in the original game. So you still have to play everything and get as many war assets as you can, but the threshold for perfect destroy is slightly lower, so you're given a little bit more leeway. Alright, so Alliance. The Shanghai gives us 10 more points here. Krogan. We got the Krogan 1st Division. And the Tachanka Planetary Defense Cannon. Now that the Krogan have control of the giant guns, they're shooting the Reapers with them because big monster we shoot. Sometimes you just gotta admire the simplistic view of the Krogans. That big monster, we kill big monster. They don't really dive deeper into that because they don't see a reason to. And I love it. So when I say it's a simplistic view, I'm not insulting them. I'm actually admiring it. And we also got the Shadow Broker Wet Squad. But since we did lose the Atheon cluster, we should probably swing by there and pick up anything that might have been left behind. Like, I don't know, the Book of Plenix.
Reapers don't have colonies. You can't build them, or you're bombing what's left of your own planet. They make their own soldiers out of our civilians. They don't have supply lines. How do you beat something like that? I'll let you know if I think of something.
Deus Ex Machina.
Commander, Chief Engineer Adams would like to speak with you down in engineering.
Alrighty.
Commander?
EDI doesn't pilot the Normandy. She is the Normandy.
No, she's a passenger in the Normandy, just like us. The ship was a spacefaring vessel before EDI even existed.
Engineer Donnelly is correct. The Normandy SR-2 was completely spaceworthy prior to my installation.
See, EDI agrees with me.
EDI's mind and the Normandy are a whole entity now. You couldn't just move the processors in the AI core to another ship.
Engineer Adams is correct. Processes that contribute to my self-awareness are spread throughout the ship.
See? EDI agrees with me.
But unlike EDI, our brains couldn't have existed without our bodies.
That is a requisite from being organic. You have to look beyond that limited definition of life.
Joker pilots the Normandy. He doesn't take over Edie's body when he does that. When Edie controls the ship, she's piloting, just like Joker.
Edie doesn't pilot the Normandy. She is the Normandy.
Yeah, I'm going with Adams on this one.
Edie can direct the Normandy with her thoughts. She sees, hears, and feels through the ship's sensor arrays. The Normandy is her body.
I've seen Edie's body, and its curves are...
That's technically Dr. Ava's body.
So what do you think, Edie?
Are we more than our thoughts?
I'm done. Any more of this and my head's gonna explode.
But yeah, Edie doesn't consider her mobile platform her body. In fact, when Shepard asks how she's getting used to it, like how does it compare, Shepard's meaning how does Dr. Ava's body compare to human bodies? Edie interprets that, how does it compare to my real body, the Normandy? And she's saying it lacks in a lot of ways because she can't see as well with it. It lacks the Normandy sensors. It doesn't have Thanix cannons. It's incapable of FTL speeds. And Shepard's like, oh, hold on. I meant, how does that mobile platform compare to a human soldier? And it's like, oh, let me reassess. So yeah, Edie's body is the Normandy. And if extracted, Edie would cease to exist. But because she's not organic, Normandy, the ship, would still be space-worthy. It would just be, for lack of a better term, a soulless vessel.
Commander, remember the problem I mentioned about a core overload possibly venting into the engineering compartment? Daniels, Donnelly, Edie, and I have been brainstorming and comparing notes.
You see, the venting occurs when IES sinks are in a back cycle. At the same moment, the main core is at peak draw, such as from sustained kinetic.
What Kenneth means to say is that we're pretty sure we can make the system safer.
We just need a GX-12 thermal pipe. Unfortunately, we're cut off from Alliance supply chains. Could you keep an eye out for one the next time you're on the Citadel, Commander? I've got the specs right here.
Are these modifications really necessary?
It's a safety issue, not exactly critical. Under extreme conditions, like heavy bombardment to the kinetic barriers while traveling at peak flight speeds, plasma can vent into this compartment.
It would vaporize anyone standing in this room.
That sounds more serious than just a safety issue.
Well, under those conditions, odds are you're about to lose the entire ship anyway.
But we want every advantage we can get, right?
Let's hear. How often does the Normandy go into situations where she might be encountering heavy fire while at max sublight speeds? Oh, that's every fucking day. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
I'll look for one next time we go to the Citadel.
Thanks, Commander.
Alright.
Commander, you've got a new message at your private terminal.
Telling the Prothean War. Okay. Prothean War with the Reapers. Most of the information gathered in this report was acquired through interviews by Prothean expert and xenoarchaeologist Dr. Liara Tassoni, and her conversations with the Prothean recovered from stasis on Eden Prime. AIS attempted to interview the subject directly, but were quickly dismissed, stating their interrogation techniques were primitive, and that in his time, information would be extracted by the most efficient method possible. War of the Protheans and the Reapers. The Prothean War began with a surprise attack on the Citadel, which immediately fell to Reaper control. The Protheans' normally superior fleet was destroyed with limited resistance, and the Emperor died along with most senior military advisors. With the Citadel secured and the defending fleet eliminated, the Reapers disabled the mass relay network. Although ships could no longer pass through, the relay still permitted data transmissions, allowing the Empire to quickly warn the rest of the galaxy about the attack. Soon after, the secret research facility on Ilos went dark. With the Prothean Empire essentially immobilized, the Reapers began a systematic war of attrition, one planet at a time, eradicating entire populations and purging all signs of advanced technology. While the Prothean FTL drive was still capable of interstellar travel, there was the inescapable time lag accumulated by traveling between clusters. Using this to their advantage, the refugee fleets would evade the Reaper threat, then have months or even years to accumulate fuel, supplies, and raw materials before the Reapers would inevitably find them. Although this pattern was repeatedly successful for generations, the Protheans, accustomed to being the conquerors rather than being the conquered, grew weary of constantly running from the enemy. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Protheans would be born on one planet only to see it burn, forced to escape to the next cluster. This galactic exodus spanned hundreds of years before the fleet was eventually destroyed at the Battle of Tranbir 9. The Protheans, on the verge of completing a superweapon to destroy the Reapers, were betrayed by indoctrinated agents. With the destruction of the Empire's flagship, the Penumbra Apex, the Reapers quickly overwhelmed the Protheans and destroyed the last hope of theirs for survival. Technology. Prothean technology was far more advanced than that of the Council races. Their sensory ability allowed them to communicate concepts far more efficiently than by using spoken word, and resulted in such accomplishments being able to both understand and harness the mass relay technology. The Penumbra Apex, the flagship of the Prothean fleet, is the prime example of the technological superiority. 3 times larger than the Destiny Ascension, the Penumbra Apex's weapons were designed to specifically break Reaper shields in only a few shots, and its armor thick enough to withstand direct hits from the Reaper's magnetohydrodynamic weapons. The longer the war raged on, the more strained the Prothean fleet became, and supply shortages forced them to capitulate and develop more efficient weapons. Their most notable technological upgrade to their military arsenal was the introduction of particle-firing weapons. Military doctrine. Prothean's military doctrine, while effective for expansion and conquest, had no flexibility for defensive adaptation. As the dominant species in the galaxy, they became far too dependent upon their own technological prowess. As they traded one burning planet for another, they were only trying to buy themselves time to develop a solution that would never come. Influence on current war. It is Eris's assessment that the subject's testimony gives us greater hope, although the Prothean clearly does not share a cautious optimism. Despite the fact that their technology is vastly inferior to that of the Protheans, and the galactic community is not nearly as populous, the actions of the Protheans have given this cycle a fighting chance. With the Protheans' research on Ilos, including the location of the conduit, Commander Shepard was able to halt the first signs of the Reaper invasion and destroy Sovereign before the Reapers could take control of the Citadel. Without access to the Citadel, the Reapers are having to change tactics. Rather than harvest one cluster at a time, deactivating the relays and immobilizing whole civilizations, they are having to attack resources, fuel supplies, and planet infrastructures prior to attacking specific targets. The subsequent strategy to Sovereign's failure was to have the Collectors begin construction on a new human form Reaper. While the Reapers were quickly willing to undertake such a risky operation, it does imply that even they can endure substantial setbacks by entering the Milky Way through FTL travel. The Reapers are clearly not as omnipotent as they would have the galaxy believe. Both the current and previous cycles have had success in eliminating individual Reapers, albeit at usually great cost. Current theories propose that very few Reapers are created as a result of each cycle, so each loss is significant and irreplaceable. Yeah, they only make one Reaper each cycle, so the theory goes, and it's usually from the dominant species of the era. And in this cycle, it's going to be humans. But another thing to glean from this is the report repeatedly emphasized the over-reliance. Just like, initially, the Asari would have formed this cycle's Reapers. Until Shepard got involved. Then the Reapers like, the Asari actually haven't done anything. And yet these cave dwellers are constantly fucking up our plans. That is exactly why they hit Earth first. Well, second. First they hit Karshan, but that was in their path. I just think they would have broken form and done too. They could have. But yeah. No one foresaw humanity as being the lead in this cycle's war. Everyone thought it'd be the Asari. The Reapers did, the Protheans did, the Asari did. Then the Asari kind of fucked off and just, only cared about themselves. And humanity's like, well, no one else is going to do it. Fine, we'll do it. Which is kind of like, in Mass Effect 2, Renegade Shepard actually lampshades this. He'll say, if you want a problem talked to death, ask the Asari. If you want a problem shot, ask the Turians. If you want more problems, ask the Solarians. If you want a problem solved, ask the humans. But anyway, the report here overemphasizes the fact that the Protheans were far used to being on the offense and were very rigid in their doctrine. So they couldn't respond very well. And once their technologically superiorness kind of broke, they didn't really have anywhere else to fall back on. Yeah, they had some projects that, were vastly successful. The conduit for Ilos being the prime example, which was the only reason why our cycle has a fighting chance. But the main reason why I think IAS is actually cautiously optimistic is compare the Prothean strategy to the dominant races of this strategy, or of this cycle strategy. Granted, the Asari and the Solarians are kind of, written off as lost causes. But the Turians, granted they're just as inflexible as the Protheans, but they're holding the line for the moment. But the humans, what's humanity's major hat in almost every science fiction thing? Adaptability. Humans frequently can reverse engineer technology that they've only seen a little bit and sometimes even make it better. They can switch tactics on the fly. And they have an uncanny ability of rallying the other species. Do that, you could build a thing. Yeah. That's why I said they can also make it better. But like in Babylon 5, Delenn said that there's a lot of sci-fi misunderstandings. Yeah. But in Babylon 5, Delenn, leader of the Minbari, says that humanity's importance to the galaxy isn't their technological prowess, isn't their fighting strategy. It's the fact that of all the galactic races, they're the ones that built a space station for the sole purpose of bringing everyone in the galactic community together so they can argue with each other diplomatically, settle things there, to hopefully prevent war. No other species would do that. And we can see this in Mass Effect. The Systems Alliance adapted to new tech extremely well, and in fact, in some instances, made it better. Metagel, for one instance. We're also good at adapting tactics. The Treaty of Phyraxian said we can't have that many dreadnoughts. So we're like, okay, how about carriers? What's a carrier? Uh-oh. I'm getting technical difficulties. My Twitch playback is not working on my laptop, but it is on my phone. So I'm just going to close out the browsers here and see if that works. Okay, so I'm able to load YouTube on the browser. I can't load Discord, and I can't load Twitch on my laptop. Am I having internet issues? How is the stream on your end, since I can't tell? Seems okay. Okay. Yeah, I can load up Discord on my phone, but not on... Okay, so I'm going to reset my laptop, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'll just check up chat on my... Yeah, we're in a menu. I haven't left. Oh, that's why. My laptop was getting forced updated. Motherfucker. Okay, I need to find an app or a driver that prevents updates, because 99% of the updates that Windows wants to do are little tiny code updates that make a line look a little bit better. But what about security? I have fucking antivirus for security. I don't need Windows security when half the time Windows security doesn't fucking work. In fact, they let more bad shit on the computer than prevent it. God's sake. Well, okay, so, I'll have to do that after the stream. Ads, okay. Sorry for the rant, but anyway. I lost my train of thought. We'll just do this. Intelligence attack on Volus systems. Reaper attack on the Atheon cluster commences as expected. Their objective appears to neutralize the Volus help for the Coalition fleets. While the 11th Fleet was engaged at Irune, it quickly became apparent that they were no match for full Reaper force, resulting in tactical retreat. The Volus cruisers, equipped with heavy ordnance, proved particularly effective in suppressing the enemy. The VDF Chamukuntho unleashed a full barrage of 300 missiles and disrupted torpedoes in under a minute, managing to take down a destroyer and 2 husk-loaded factory ships, allowing time for the 11th Fleet to withdraw. The Reapers split into 2 fleets. One began a direct attack on Irune, the other to search and destroy the infrastructure resources throughout the surrounding systems. The Volus had anticipated such brutal tactics and relocated valuable equipment and data collection systems off-site for backup. The 14th Chitetso Guard stationed on Irune report that they have been successful in occupying Reaper forces to this point. Husks are especially vulnerable to Irune's immense atmospheric pressures and corrosive ammonia-based environment. Captured specimens showed severe degeneration after less than 24 hours. The second Reaper fleet spread throughout the cluster, destroying Volus infrastructure, with high priority targets being the Helium-3 platforms at Atos Ern, Welm Iran, and Gorgun. Yep, it was the forced update. That's what caused everything to go to shit. I fucking hate you, Windows. Anyway. The Volus have shown the usual sneakiness, leaking a report on the extranet of a military intelligence summit at a station near Solupalos. As hoped, the Reapers acted on this false information, deployed a large force of us to secure the station. As they arrived, the VDF detonated the compound, with the dreadnought VDF Kunu finishing off the accompanying destroyer. Our analysis expected the Reapers to destroy the EZO refineries on Polo 10, and we evacuated the Volus engineering teams in anticipation prior to the Reaper attack. Rather than destroy the refineries, the Reapers unexpectedly deployed forces to occupy the facilities instead. VDF recon teams have assessed the area, but are unsure if the position can be retaken and awaited further instructions. Okay. Yeah, if any Microsoft people are listening to this, fuck you. Fuck your forced updates. 0 stars out of 10. Would not recommend to anyone else. In fact, if it wouldn't completely screw up all of my data and stuff, I would switch to fucking Linux.
Commander, very few areas here have survived intact.
I found something.
Now there's Irune. Book of Plenix. Sab. Your turn. Welcome back, Soph. I got my laptop working again. The reason why it had Twitch and Discord and every other thing I tried to pull up crash, it's because it was doing a forced update. And I don't know how to get it to fucking stop. No, that's not irritating. That's infuriating. Well, there is one way. Basically render the laptop's ability to follow Twitch chat useless, but I can just disconnect it from the internet and it will never update. But I had put it on paused for 5 weeks. Didn't even make it through week 1 and just forced updated on it anyway.
Signal confirmed.
But no, like, if it wouldn't be detrimental to my data, my programs that I've got on, my games and stuff, I would switch to Apple or Linux and leave Windows behind forever. Because Microsoft, I mean, we give Nintendo and EA shit for being evil fucking companies. Microsoft is worse than all of them. They have no sense of consumer empathy. They do whatever the fuck they want, and since they've got a global monopoly, if you don't like it, fucking tough. You have no other choice.
I found something.
So now I'm probably going to be pissed for the entire fucking day. And the only thing I can actually do is write a bad review that they're not even going to pay attention to anyways. And I don't have the money or influence to file a class action lawsuit saying that these fucking forced updates that don't do shit other than, you know, wrecking what you already have. I can't form or file a suit because you need either influence or money. I have neither. So ultimately what's going to happen is I'm just going to have to bend over and take it like everyone else. And there's just not a goddamn thing we can do about it. I wonder if there's anything in Boltzmann. There we go. It's like I was wondering why there was only, it said 0%. It's like, where are the war assets? Alright, let's go to the Citadel. We've got a couple things we can do on the commons.
Do you need ground transport?
I need a cab to the Presidium.
It'll be there momentarily.
Okay, so first we need to talk to Barla Vaughn.
I had plans to return to Arun, but business here keeps luring me back. Perhaps it's for the best, all things considered.
I rescued those soldiers from Reaper territory.
Excellent work. The Shadow Broker has authorized me to offer you a finder's fee for his guard's safety. And now that our business is concluded, I have to tend to some other engagements. Goodbye, Commander. And may I say, good luck.
I recovered the Book of Plenties. It's waiting for you in Bay D-24.
Earth Clan, this is a priceless gift. Thank you. You may help my people remember. Welcome to
Okay, Elcos Carlin Mines. Got the conduit that we need.
Elcos Combine. If it exists, we carry it.
Yeah, there's the executioner.
Any opened goods can only be returned for store credit.
Please visit any of our Elcos Combine affiliate branches for any and all personal needs.
Then
Where is this going? Because if this isn't
we gotta tell Ebra about her husband.
The matriarchs aren't gonna do anything to you, especially in the middle of this damn war.
My reports don't show much activity from the Asari military against the Reapers.
Come on, you know how Asari work. Infiltration and sabotage.
But against Reaper forces, that's...
I know. About as useful as tits on a hen are. Good thing we've got the Turians and the Krogan to do the heavy lifting. Our people just aren't built for the front ranks.
Alright.
Welcome to the Citadel gift shop.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. You need to hear this.
Oh, Blue Rose of Ilium. If these humble words reach you, then I have joined my ancestors.
No, no, no.
My dream was to be by your side, a weed beside your beauty, twining together in the warm Tachanka sun.
Oh, Char.
But if my last days must be with Krant instead of kindness, still I will remember the perfume of your scent and the soft touch of your petals. Let my broken bones build a wall around your garden, so you and the flower we planted together can grow safe and strong.
Thank you. I need to go.
Alright, let's see. I think that's all the stuff we need to do on the Citadel. Let's see here. Okay, nothing there. Oh yeah, we need to go Purgatory. And then we can head to Normandy, go back to Chanka, and do the other missions which will give me something to shoot at, which will probably at least make me feel better, because I can pretend that the Reapers I'm shooting are Windows updates.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination. One moment, please. Now arriving at Ward's level, Purgatory.
Can't believe he did that. They were refugees. Damn, it's not like they had much left to start with. Don't mean to interrupt you, but I found these schematics. They're pretty old, but maybe they could help you?
Oh. Those really are old, but solid. We could totally convert our current systems to this. Thanks.
Welcome, Commander Shepard. Please select a destination.
Alright. Shepard, I've already dispatched most of the special. Okay. They're confined to the car deck. Don't want them anywhere near you or Clef. Gotcha. Okay. War assets. Volus engineering team. Volus fabrication units. Alliance 5th Fleet. The Alliance Irregulars. They just wanted me to visit. Okay. Oh, hello. Alright. Let's check in on the engineers. Since we got them that thermal conduit.
Thanks, Commander. That GX-12 thermal pipe arrived. We're performing the modifications right now.
So, how did I get volunteered to crawl through the ducts?
You're the power control engineer, not me.
Damn hot in here. Hey, didn't Adam say that all the Normandy is Edie?
God damn it.
Kenneth, stop right there.
Just didn't tell Joker. He'll get jealous.
Alright. So we got that. Any new upgrades? Nope. Okay. I think the new upgrades we're gonna have to wait till we get Tally. Alright. Back to Tachanka. Alright, we're gonna bring in Garrus. I guess Javik. Alright, we're good.
This crash site's a nightmare. Edie, try to raise Lieutenant Victus.
Yes, sir.
For a Turian commander, what happened here is... let's just say the Turian code is not forgiving. And that it's his son is bad for the Primarch. Promoting family without merit can bite you in the ass. What's strange is the Primarch knows that.
Commander, I have to land well back from the main crash site.
That the best you can do?
Yes, sir. But the Reapers seem unaware of our presence. You might get the jump on them.
All right, set her down. Let's save this platoon. Edie. Did you raise Lieutenant Victus?
Yes, but the connection is bad.
Patch me in. This is Commander Shepard, Alliance Navy. Do you read?
This is Lieutenant Tarquin Victus of the 9th Platoon. We're pinned by Reaper harvesters and taking heavy casualties. Also, there are pockets of my men scattered along the crash trajectory.
Lieutenant, I need you to fire a flare so I can find your position.
Oh, there's a flare.
Got it.
Things get worse by the minute. My men are dying.
This sounds bad. Let's move.
Looks worse than I feared.
Alright. Sorry, I was on my phone trying to figure out where I can leave my angry worded review for Microsoft to ignore. I know I should let it go, but I don't think I can.
Understood. Yes, Shepard. A secret Turian mission on Tachanka is especially odd. Thoughts?
It doesn't matter. Our mission is clear.
Javik. I brought you because I wanted to hear the dialogue that you would have. And because you're really good against the Reapers, but if this is your level of dialogue, I'm thinking maybe I should have brought the hairless monkey. You know, James. Or gorilla. Yeah, James would be more of a gorilla.
Silence. Enemies ahead.
Quick. We don't want them to call for backup.
Oh, that worked. I hear gunfire.
Escape pod. Our first casualties. Survived the crash, but then a harvester took out the pod.
Died in the explosion?
Or dragged out and eaten by husks.
Gunfire. They are near.
Okay. I have a visual on the enemy, and there's an escape pod just beyond. Looks like the Turians are in tough. Enemies up ahead don't know we're here.
Surprise on our side for once. I like it.
Exactly. Let's go.
Filthy cannibal.
Harvester! Incoming harvester!
Jesus.
Don't stop for us. We'll head for
I
the crash
didn't think
site.
it would
There's another pod ahead.
I didn't think I would be able to kill it that fast.
They'll live to fight another battle.
I mean, I did give Garrus the god that sends him to godhood, and he does have armor-piercing rounds for that one, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that he shredded it to pieces, but Jesus.
Moving. We need to find the main crash site ASAP.
Being the son of Adrian Victus is a lot to live up to. It's a big military name on Palaven. War's expected to run in the Victus blood.
War was a way of life for my people as well. If you couldn't fight the Reapers, you were left behind.
Well, that's, he hesitated a little bit before saying that. So was it left behind, or was that just a euphemism for getting shot? Because there are a lot of troops in the Soviet Army in World War II that were quote-unquote left behind. And by that I mean they were shot by the commissars for, you know,
Looks like we got the jump. Follow my lead.
not doing what they were told.
Heads up! Harvester incoming! Damn, another harvester! Thanks for the help.
I think we saved all those men.
Just gonna double check. I want to make sure I'm still on insanity. I am. Okay. Just, I guess Garrus with the Typhoon really is that good.
Over here.
Do you read, Commander? Repeat, do you read?
Shepard here. What's your status?
We're in deep. Commander, what's your ETA?
Hang tight. We're on our way.
Arctic, how's our velocity? Deceleration online. We'll survive. Victus is going to pay for this. Court-martial or hanging?
How will the commander live this down?
When we find him, we'll ask.
Again, the Lieutenant Victus's decisions, as we'll learn, only make are only bad in the sense that they're bad Turian strategy. In a human military, that would actually be a viable tactic. And his superiors were just like, oh yeah, you got bad luck. It wouldn't be a court-martial or a hanging.
Shepard here.
Just saw harvesters drop a lot of enemies in your path.
Understood.
Oh, yep, there's the insanity difficulty. Okay. Oh, shit. You know what I hate most about mouse and keyboard? I'm trying to find the key to heal.
Understood.
Then I noticed the grenade, and so I was fumbling around for the key to roll. And then I saw I didn't roll in the cover, so I was fumbling around to try to find the W key so I could move. And I ended up dying.
The harvester is in retreat.
When if I was using a controller, that would have been a much easier thing. What are you saying? I'm saying screw mouse and keyboard.
Okay. Let's pick it up. It's important we don't lose this squad.
To hold the Krogan back seems unproductive. All available forces should be mobilized against the Reapers.
Krogan-Turian animosity is ancient and intense. It's inborn.
And I need them to work together, so let's not complicate things.
Javik, let's not look at, criticize the poor decisions of this cycle too harshly, because if you want, we can go over the poor decisions your cycle made. And I can assure you, you made more than we did.
All right, let's move!
Reaper blood will spill!
Nope. That one. Okay, so where's the Black Star? All right.
Lieutenant Victus?
Commander Shepard, my men and I are in your debt. Thank you for saving so many.
What happened here?
He screwed up. Stand down, soldier. These men are dead because of him.
I said, stand down.
Hey, I just saved all your asses, so everyone just calm down. Lieutenant, what's going on here?
I made a bad call. This is all on me. I chose caution and clever tactics over a head-on attack. And my men paid the price.
What did you do?
You mean the crash?
Yes. We could see on Hollow that Reaper forces were blocking our intended path. Staying on course guaranteed heavy casualties. So I chose a safer route, skirting the enemy. And that took us low and through these ruins. When we encountered resistance, there was no room to maneuver. Suddenly, we were in a fight for our lives. A lot of my men lost that fight.
So yeah, like I said earlier, the human commander would have been, okay, you tried to outflank your enemy. It's a decent tactic. You just failed to account for all the terrain conditions, but you might not have had them all. Bad calls happen. Learn from it. Turians, however, if you deviate from the approved doctrinal strategy, yeah, you get hanged for it.
Owning your mistake takes guts. But you have to get over it and move on.
Of course. It's just fresh right now. Our mission's still a failure. When we've stabilized the injured, we'll head back to the fleet.
You're abandoning your mission?
We're down over 30 men. It'd be suicide.
What exactly did you come here to do?
There's a bomb on the planet. We were sent to defuse it.
A bomb? How big?
Enormous. Cerberus has it.
Lieutenant, if Cerberus has that bomb, you have to finish your mission.
Haven't these men sacrificed enough?
I understand. This kind of sacrifice is the hardest to ask for, but your men signed on for it. And so did you.
My men have lost hope, Commander. Even if I wanted to finish the mission, they don't.
It's your job to make them want to.
How?
Appeal to their honor.
Their sacrifice means that others will never face what they faced here today. Remind them that those sacrifices have no honor if the mission fails.
Men, I own what happened here today. But we have to carry on.
No, we don't. Who cares about a few dead Krogan? It's over.
We are Turian, and we will not let Cerberus succeed. Our sacrifice is the difference between life and death for this entire galaxy. Let the heroes of the 9th Platoon be remembered for performing their duties with bravery. All right, men. Shuttle's arriving any minute. We're moving out. Commander, come with us. We're a shell of what we were. We could use the help.
Send me the nav point. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. That'll give us time to do a little recon. See what we're up against.
Victus, you have a second chance here. Make their sacrifice count.
Understood, Commander. Hope to see you at the rendezvous.
Alright, so now we gotta do step 2 of this.
What the hell is going on, Commander? And what do the Turians have to do with it?
Coordinates Victus gave me place it in the Kelphic Valley. It's a heavily populated area. That's all I know.
My gut says something's not right here.
What do you suggest?
Get the Primarch to come clean.
Should we alert the Krogan military?
I'd wait. We're in the dark here. Krogan-Turian relations are fragile until the genophage is cured. Let's not push it. And how about this bomb? How many troops does Cerberus have on this?
No idea. All I know is we can't have them detonating that bomb.
Keep me in the loop. Hack it out.
Primarch Victus.
Impressive work on Tuchanka. I'm grateful that...
Why didn't you tell me about the Cerberus bomb? Why hide that? What else are you keeping from me?
I have nothing for you.
Maybe you should start giving me stuff.
Our friendship is new, Commander. Would you trust me with information that puts your people, puts Earth, at risk?
If things were normal, and we weren't facing a Reaper invasion, no, you'd have a point. But we are facing a Reaper invasion. The Godzilla threshold has been crossed multiple times over. We can't afford the luxuries of secrets amongst allies any longer. Because we are not just allies, we are, as far as the Reapers are concerned, we are one enemy. They're not going to treat us any different. So why would we, you know, lack or like not trust each other implicitly?
Why would I jeopardize our alliance by lying to you now? Doesn't make sense.
Decisions like these weigh heavy on me. When I was a general, I could pass them up the chain of command. But now, I'm all I've got. Know what I mean?
Sure. And
that's all. Wait, there is one more thing, Commander. Thank you for saving my son.
Shepard, test verified. Results promising. Can synthesize for universal Krogan immunity.
Good. Then you can put your knife away.
The cure's ready?
No, still need transmission vector. Cure useless unless given to entire species.
Well, you've infected them before.
You infected them with a disease easy enough. Is the cure that different?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Keeping
remind
modalities
you
similar
of
when
that.
possible. Easiest way to develop cure rapidly. Groundwater? No, too slow. Voluntary inoculation risky. Population too scattered for airborne. Unless... Wait, yes! The Shroud. Constant global dispersion of air particles, built by Solarians to repair atmosphere of Tuchanka.
Technically, that's not the Shroud. Shroud is the orbital Lagrange point thing blocking the sun.
Krogan rebellions.
That's a maintenance tower. It's part of the Shroud system, but it's not the Shroud itself.
Sometimes I understand why the Krogan want to shoot everyone in sight.
Those were desperate times.
Yes, but useful now. Original genophage strain still in storage at Shroud facility. Can use it as transmission vector, then use Shroud to blanket Tuchanka with cure.
You clever little piejack. That's our best shot, right there.
Then finish your preparations and be ready to go, Morden.
Of course. Ready when you need me. We'll be in medbay with Eve until then.
Okay. So, we've got the pipe. Gotta check how that's doing. We've got the bomb that we need to take care of, and now we've got priority to Tuchanka that we can get. We're gonna hold off on that one. We're gonna check the bomb first. Although, let's do the rounds real quick. Talk to people.
We could be on the front lines. Why have they got us guarding the door anyway? It's gonna break regs right now.
War makes people stupid. Besides, you talked with Moreau? Electors invaded this ship and kidnapped the crew.
Damn. Okay, I guess we gotta be ready for anything to come through that door.
Well, luckily, you two aren't the only Marines on this boat anymore.
Commander, Chief Engineer Adams would like to speak with you down in engineering.
Cool, I'll be there.
Alright, here's another one. Dates back to the Rachni Wars. So, a Krogan and a Solarian have landed on a Rachni world for a top-secret mission.
That is unlikely. Solarians rarely took part in raids on Rachni-occupied worlds directly.
Missing the point? So the two guys are climbing up a hill going through this nasty green fog. And as they get near the top, they come out of the fog, and the Solarian sees thousands of Rachni. He looks over at the Krogan and says, "Oh, well, that makes me nervous!" The Krogan says, "You think that's scary? When this is over, I have to go back down through that fog by myself!"
The implication being that the Solarian soldier would be dead.
Yes. Thank you for killing the 2,000-year-old joke.
That joke plays to racial stereotypes on both sides. The Krogan appears brutish and insensitive, while the Solarian appears weak. Stereotypes such as exemplified here led to the development and use of the genophage.
Well, yeah. It's also one of the only jokes you'll hear both Solarians and Krogan telling. Comedy isn't really about being nice. Sometimes it's a way to air out the ugly things people think.
Yeah. The importance of the court jester cannot be understated. Comedy and making fun of things allows people to, vent frustrations, bring up issues that would otherwise be uncomfortable, so they can be talked about, and most importantly, it allows you to criticize the powers that be, but in a way that won't get you killed. In fact, the best monarchs of the day would listen to their jesters. And if they were constantly making fun of certain things that the king did, that was his way of figuring out, oh, I'm doing something I probably shouldn't. Maybe I should change. But because it was coming from the jester, you know, it was allowed. So comedy, satire, parody, they're all important because it allows things that normally can't be said to be said because it's funny. Which is why Joker was like, yeah, this joke about the Krogan and the Solarian is heavily baked in stereotype and prejudice. But it's also the only joke you'll hear both Krogans and Solarians telling. And the fact that Solarians are telling it too says a lot.
I am impressed by your continued existence, Shepard. The probability of surviving as long as you have is low.
Gee, thanks.
So that went well. Glad to see that Turians can flip out and lose their shit just like the rest of us.
They're under a lot of pressure.
You stole the Normandy, got blown up by the Collectors, and sent us on a suicide mission at the Galactic Core. And I haven't mutinied once. Not once.
And I appreciate it, Joker. But I know the real reason why you haven't mutinied. It's because you're in love with the ship. Your loyalty isn't to me, it's to the Normandy and Edie.
Unread messages at your private terminals, Commander.
I thought you were okay with that. I'm your wingman on this one, but I'm just saying. Jessica Fromm, thank you. Save my life on Benning. Shepard, I tried asking around about what the Turian team would be doing on Tachanka, but didn't get anywhere. Either they don't know what or won't say, but whatever it is, it's big. While I was asking around, I did hear about some of our assault troops that could use our help. They're pinned down defending a colony in Volus territory. They know what they're doing, but they're not going to hold out forever. The way this war is going, we need all the help we can get. Okay. We can do that.
Commander, whatever you did on Tachanka has the Turians sending a lot of messages.
What are they saying?
Sorry, it's encrypted. Cracking it would take at least a week, and it would be wrong.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be wrong, but Turians aren't showing a lot of trust in us right now. So maybe the turns should table. That's all I'm saying. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Wish you could have seen that gun on Tachanka firsthand. I cut the auditory emulators and watched that Cerberus cruiser gracefully and silently disintegrate. Beautiful.
Sometimes I worry about you, man.
It was full of indoctrinated almost husks. It's okay. It's not like they had their souls left anyhow.
Parts of Tachanka reminded me of the desert back home. The lizards and worms are bigger, but, you know, the sand and everything.
That's not the Mako. I need to switch that back to the Mako. Okay. Assault rifles 9. Yay. Ooh, a dragonfly gunship. A trident. Ah. These are just cosmetics, but I kind of want air power. We'll get the trident. There. All right, Steve. I got you a trident. Have fun. You're the best commander ever.
You should not have let the Turian soldier evade his responsibility.
I take it Protheans didn't forgive many mistakes?
If he had been under my command, I would have marooned him in the desert, buried him in sand up to his neck, and let the wildlife feast on his eyes. If he survived that, I would have rewarded him by shooting him in the head. Good soldiers are a precious resource. The stupidity of one cannot be allowed to jeopardize the lives of the others.
Okay, counterpoint. What I did by forcing him to own up to his mistake and then fucking learn from it means that we don't waste a potentially good tactician. Mistakes happen. He made one. But his willingness to make up for it and atone, at least in his culture's eyes, and his dedication to the mission means he doesn't deserve to fucking die, you monster. Just because it was done back in your day doesn't mean that the same can apply here. Especially since we don't have as much population as you do. Good God.
Gabby, what do you think about our new yeoman, Miss Trainer?
She's not a yeoman, she's a communication specialist. And you're barking up the wrong tree, Kenneth. You're not her type.
Oh, well, perhaps you should go and talk to her then.
Maybe I should. Nobody's barking on my tree.
If it works out, be sure to take video.
Okay, so Gabby, this one's on you. You put the image of yourself and Trainer together in his head. Don't blame him for going gaga over that. Though, Ken, you should really take Gabby's hints and, you know, ask her out already. I'm surprised she's been this patient.
Commander, good news on the installation of that thermal pack you got us.
It went right brilliant. Much better than we expected.
Told you it would.
Better. While interfacing through our ezo capacitors, our Miss Daniels...
Well, like I said, my theory as to why Ken is so
Our core is too compact to apply our theory.
well, verbal about
Send the plans their way.
Do it.
the attractiveness of every female on the crew is because he's not. I think he's actually really only got eyes for Gabby here. But this poor motherfucker doesn't know how to say it without, you know, because he doesn't know how she feels because he's oblivious to fucking love. And so it's kind of bottled up in him. And he feels like he can't perv out about the one he actually wants. But he can't keep it in or else he'll explode, so he just kind of, you know, verbal diarrheas over everything. Not saying that's a good coping mechanism. I'm just saying that's my theory as to why of verbal diarrhea. Because as soon as these two actually do hook up, you don't hear a peep out of Ken about any other girl other than Gabby here. It's just that Ken's, charisma is, not a very high stat. Agreed. Yeah. Alright, let's start with Garrus. Liara, then we can go back up. I know we're gonna go over, but that's okay. I want to get to chunk the side quest done. Where the is Garrus in the lounge again?
Enough about me. What were you doing before we met up here?
Oh, you know, this and that.
Come on, spill it to Sony.
Very well. I fought several explosive battles with Cerberus. I helped Shepard stop a robotic assassin on Mars. Oh, and I discovered plans for a Prothean doomsday device that were buried for 50,000 years.
Yeah, so just this and that, huh?
So, just your average Tuesday.
Turians on a secret mission to Tuchanka, huh? No one told
What's up, Ross? Welcome to stream.
Hello, Shepard.
Like Thursday. Alright,
Archangel.
You heard about that, huh?
Your sojourn on Omega generated quite a few articles, not to mention security footage. There's one thing I couldn't dig up, though. Did you really take out 3 Blue Suns mercenaries with 1 bullet?
No, of course not. The third guy had a heart attack. Not fair to count him.
So I probably nailed one at the top of the head. The other one, there was a through and through. The other one hit down in the heart because, it's angled down. And then the last guy probably got hit in the gut or, dick. So that wouldn't have been immediately fatal, but he probably had a heart attack from the shock. So yeah, not quite 3 kills with 1 bullet. I just love how humble Garrus is like, nah, I didn't kill 3 with 1 bullet. Third one would have died from the bullet. He had a heart attack. Alright, Crucible. More info. Optimize use of capacitors. Do we have any more? Okay, no. Manifest. Equipment manifest. Okay, so yeah, we'll have the Trident as a secondary. We're gonna go ahead and go to general quarters, aka, as the Star Trek nerd in me would call it, Red Alert, because we are going into war zones now. Okay, we're gonna actually pull back from Tuchanka at the moment. Let's see here. Atheon cluster. Because Garrus mentioned some Turians forces we could possibly recruit. Looks like they're in the Nura system. Omakare. The 26th Armiger Legion. Okay. Okay, so now we're going back to Earth. Okay, Gagarin Station is at 100%. It's not on Earth itself. Let's try around Jupiter. Nope.
Faster than light jump successful.
Trying to find that last thing around Earth. Alright, we're heading to the Kelphic Valley. Let's see, we want Garrus. Let's bring in James. Because I'm going to need firepower for the most part. And we're going to take out your Revenant, and we're going to give you... a Camouflage Typhoon.
Normandy Shuttle, this is Lieutenant Victus with the 9th Platoon. Do you copy?
We hear you, 9th Platoon.
We're approaching the bomb site, Commander. Getting bounced around pretty bad.
This is as close as we get, Lieutenant. Look for somewhere to set your platoon down.
Copy that.
Talk to me about this Cerberus bomb.
It's not Cerberus, Commander. It's Turian.
What do you mean, Turian?
It was planted centuries ago, after the Krogan rebellions.
Alright.
Safeguard against another galactic war.
Brutal, but it makes a certain kind of sense. Put the Krogan down hard if they tried anything.
You won't earn trust with tactics like that. But right now, we focus on disarming that bomb.
Yes, but Cerberus found it. Detonation means all-out war between my people and the Krogan.
Right. Where is it?
Those buildings ahead. Cerberus brought equipment to dig it up. The 9th Platoon will cover your flank, Commander.
With all this activity, the Krogan have to know something's up.
Then we can't fail, Commander.
Copy that, Lieutenant.
Alright, Beaches of Normandy time! Go, 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 go!
Let's move it, people! Get behind something!
Can't dodge them forever. Hit. Run! There. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. All right.
Once we reach the bomb, I'll need to reprogram the trigger mechanism.
Shotgun blade attachment. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. Stop, Shepard. Okay. You can try.
We defeat the Krogan and then plant a bomb on their planet. Pretty extreme, but those were desperate times.
They did what they had to. Maybe the Turians have more in common with us than I thought.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It depends upon the situation, to be honest.
Cerberus is putting up a fight, but the 9th platoon is advancing, Commander.
Good work.
Copy that.
Like how they're not saying kill Shepard, they're saying contain Shepard. Because they know they can't kill me. Proceeds to immediately die due to hubris.
I'm getting a lot of Cerberus radio chatter. They're prepping for evac.
Remember that.
Let's get to high ground.
Agreed! Let's go!
Damn. That thing's gonna do some damage. How the hell they hide that?
It must have been far enough underground to stay hidden. Cerberus had to dig it.
I hope Victus knows what he's doing. We won't get a second chance.
No.
We gotta move, Shepard.
Commander, we're entering the bomb site. Moving towards the control station.
Roger that. We're on our way.
We're closing on the Hornets then. They'll be swarming out any minute now.
Agreed. And all of it thanks to my people. Damn it.
Well, given the intel at the time, it did make sense. But yeah. That's great hero whose ego is so Immense pushed himself off the mountain. All were probably sad for about 3 minutes. It's in a loading screen for you, so that would have been more timely.
Looks like control schematics for automated turrets. No good now, but they might be useful later.
Cerberus has to jump on us!
Do they? Do they really?
I'm at the control panel, Commander. Cerberus set up a firewall around the trigger mechanism.
He's got a
to slow us
Carnifex,
down.
not bad.
I need to create a bypass. That'll take time. But like you said, no trigger, no explosion.
Are you sure you can disarm the trigger?
Yes, it's old tech. I know what to do. Buy me a few minutes, Commander.
Alright, we got your back.
We'll make sure you have the time you need, Lieutenant.
Understood. Starting bypass. And thank you for making sure I get this chance.
Just make it right, soldier.
Dude.
Damn it! Commander!
Focus on the bomb. We'll handle Cerberus.
Maybe don't walk around upright when you know there's snipers in the area.
Nobody gets past me. Clear? Understood.
We've got company. I need more time, Commander.
Okay, Hydra's there.
He's taking fire!
Protect him.
Fuck you.
Watch for more shuttles.
And that's what the fucking Hydra's gonna be for. You really are a god. I go to pick up the heavy artillery to shoot the Atlas, and as soon as I turn around to aim it, it's dead. It's like, okay, I guess I won't use my big fuck off missile launcher.
Commander, firewall's down. I'm in. Spirits. Cerberus hacked the trigger mechanism. It's set to detonate. Disarm it. No time. I have to separate the trigger from the bomb. Now. Cover me.
The needs of the many. Godspeed, Lieutenant Victus. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten.
Commander, I've got radio chatter coming in from Krogan forces planetside.
And it won't be in vain.
Sounds like they started sweeping out the remaining Cerberus troops. Hate to be the guy who told the Krogan about that surprise package. Did you get out all right? Sounds like it got ugly down there.
The Turians took a lot of casualties, Joker. The Primarch's son included.
Understood, Commander. Joker out.
And that's probably what's gonna
He never hesitated. Whatever he was before.
convince Rex that, you know,
What will the Turians
Victus
think of this
paid
garrison?
for it.
Hard to say. Sacrifice and more is expected. He did us proud, but we're a hard bunch to please. Living your life for the cause. Society first, platoon first. It's all just expected.
He did what he had to do when it counted.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Because I'm pretty sure Rex knows what it's like to lose a child, no matter the age. And
Joker said the Krogan are recovering the bomb.
the fact that that child, well, not really a child anymore, but you know what I meant. The fact that his son paid with his life to prevent that bomb from going boom boom to save Krogan lives.
Yes, sir.
That carries some weight.
Another galactic war with the Krogan.
He's just pissed right now.
The genophage wasn't enough. You had to plant a bomb on
Understandably so.
The decision was made hundreds of years ago. So much has changed. Not enough to tell us about the bomb, coward.
Hey.
But yeah, Victus should have been open about the bomb immediately. Should have told Rex, hey, so there's a giant nuke under Tachanka. I've sent a squad in to disarm it. My son is leading it, and I've lost contact. I'm going to send Shepard in to make sure everything's okay. Rex would not be happy, but he'd probably be a lot more understanding than he is right now because, you know, Victus would have been upfront about it.
We can't let the past rip us apart. Working together, we have a chance. Primarch, you had a bomb on Tachanka. And Rex, in the Turian's place, you would have done the same damn thing.
Shepard.
It's over. His own son died today, making this right.
Please, Commander. It's all right. Yes, fine. Shepard, you made your point. We have stronger enemies to face.
We do.
I understand your reservations before, Commander, but I hope you now understand the secrecy.
No, I don't. You made a mistake, and your son fixed it for you.
I hate secrets and politicians, Primarch. Your son had to die to fix this.
Yes. You're right, Commander. It was a mistake not to trust you. I know that now. My son, he died with the respect of his men. I wanted to thank you for that. His sacrifice will be recorded in the histories of the 9th Platoon. Something any father would be proud of.
Yes, sir.
It may not mean much to Victus at the moment, but I'm also fairly certain that when the full story does come out, Lieutenant Victus will have also died with respect to the Krogan. You know. But alright, so we've got new N7 Special Forces. The 26th Armiger Legion. Jetpack Turians. Ha! They fly now? They fly now! That was such a dumb line. Alright, we also got the Turian Black Watch. I'm gonna go make sure that Rex isn't too pissed.
The Turians pull another move like that, Shepard, and this alliance is off.
Just bear with me, Rex. This is hard for all of us.
I've got Reapers on my planet, a bomb that almost blew up my planet, and if those two fail, the genophage to make sure we all go extinct anyway. I don't want to hear about who has it hard.
Understood.
Good. Is there something you need?
I mean, if Shepard really wanted to go off on, you know, in the who has it hard Olympics, yeah, you may have Reapers on your planet, but the Reapers fucking own mine, and it is currently on fucking fire.
What's the situation back on Tuchanka?
Well, it seems you've been there more than I have, Shepard. You tell me.
I didn't know what the Turians were up to.
I know, and I appreciate what you did. If that bomb had gone off, curing the genophage wouldn't have mattered much. We are still curing it, aren't we? I don't like waiting around when so much is at stake.
Don't worry. Victory in this war starts with Tuchanka. We'll get it done.
Alright, we'll do rounds, and then we'll call it a stream for today. That's right, I've got us on general quarters.
I had a buddy who got discharged. Category 6 after Eden Prime.
At 6? Damn. Well, if I'd been on Eden Prime, I'd have lost it too.
He fought it, said he was still fit for duty. Last thing he told me was that he was joining Cerberus.
Well, he's probably dead. But for those that don't know, Cat 6 is the Systems Alliance equivalent of the United States military Section 8, where you are discharged from military service due to mental instability. Whether that be, you know, like some sort of actual mental illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, or something else mentally that would render you unfit for duty. The most famous cultural reference to Section 8 comes from the TV show MASH, where Corporal Klinger would famously cross-dress in an attempt to get himself discharged from Section 8, because what Army officer would go around, you know, wearing women's clothing? Unfortunately for him, the fact that he was actively trying to get a Section 8 proved that he wasn't crazy, because what soldier would, or what person in the Army would want to be in the middle of a war zone? It's the catch-22. But I think toward the end of the show, after Radar left the show, Klinger kind of stopped doing the whole let's get the Section 8 thing, because he took over Radar's position.
I heard what Victor's did.
He was a brave man.
I don't think I could... there I go again. I was going to say that I could never do that.
But?
I was wrong. Being here, watching you, you've shown me what it means to serve in the Alliance.
You're a good officer, Trainer. Glad you finally realize it.
Thanks. Not that I'm volunteering for bomb jump duty. I'd suggest sending someone who has armor first, if possible.
Trainer, your best suited to fight the war from this console. Because every piece of data you analyze and send to me means I have an advantage on the field. So yeah, I don't want you donning armor. I don't want you going down and shooting people up. Because your best, most valuable place is right here. Giving me the intel to do that. And let's see it. How many wins does Trainer get? She finds Sanctuary. Her toothbrush allows us to unlock the Normandy in the Citadel DLC. She saves Grissom Academy. And something else she comes up, but there are so many lives that Trainer saves. And so many war assets we get because of Trainer's data analysis. It's not even funny. If I had to have a choice between Kelly at that station or Trainer at that station, I would pick Trainer 10 times out of 10.
You gotta love the Turians. After they beat you down and sterilize you, they strap a big old bomb to your planet. You know, just in case you get uppity again someday.
I'm just glad we disarmed it.
Damn right. Krogan are pretty tough. I'd rather it be Reaper asses getting kicked and not ours.
And like I said, the Turian... I can understand the Turian logic back then. Putting a bomb on Tachanka. Because, you know, if the genophage didn't work... the Krogan at that point in time probably wouldn't be too happy with the fact that they got sterilized. And if, you know, not all of them did get sterilized, they'd probably want revenge. So, you know, blowing them up would be a decent last resort. My problem with it is Victus should have come clean immediately. That way we would have known about it, and we would have been able to deal with it. But nope.
What's new, Edie?
Admiral Anderson reports that the Reapers on Earth are broadcasting orders. They are demanding human leaders into their superstructures in order to negotiate peace.
Anybody aboard a Reaper is going to be indoctrinated.
Exactly. This is a ruse to pacify the populace during that process. Citizens who are busy waiting are not busy fighting. It is likely that the governments of Earth will soon enact laws punishing those who attack the Reaper occupiers. Again, this will be done in the name of peace.
Tell Anderson we're moving as fast as we can.
Yeah, as a famous sci-fi admiral said, "It's a trap!" Alright, no new emails. Okay.
That last job on Tachanka was intense. I tried providing air support, but the sky was so full of Cerberus, it was like someone kicked a hornet's nest.
Yeah, they were in full evac mode.
Too bad about Tarquin. I was starting to like him.
Yeah, he was a good soldier. I was gonna say good man, but I is it appropriate to call Turian males men? Or would that be like, do they have their own word for it?
Your people would have made a good addition to our empire, Turian. You are cunning.
And by addition, you mean slave race?
Subservient race.
Right. Calling it that makes all the difference.
But you did not go far enough. Either you should have detonated the bomb on the Krogan world, or used it as leverage?
I think we were just trying to guarantee peace.
A static mode of existence. Nothing changes, nothing struggles, nothing grows.
On the upside, we all get to live another day. Nice chatting.
Yeah.
There is some enjoyment in speaking to this Turian. His knowledge of war is formidable, though he would be an even better marksman if he had 4 eyes.
I think he would consider that a challenge. Also, he's a lot better tactician than you are, because Garrus knows when to fire and when not to fire. You should probably learn about that.
So, I hear the elusive man drinks bourbon. It all makes sense now.
What do you mean? Look, Whiskey.
Hey, Scotch, my dear girl. That Scunner drinks American bourbon. Completely different.
He's a psychotic megalomaniac, and you've got problems with his choice of liquor?
You've obviously never experienced the peat aroma of a fine Ely Scotch.
Okay, so I'm going to forgive this one because he is Scottish. But as an American, our liquor is pretty good. Depending upon the maker. So, just because he drinks Kentucky bourbon doesn't mean he's evil. The fact that he's indoctrinated by Reapers and, you know, is leader of a terrorist organization, that makes him evil. No, okay. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and call the stream for today. Thinking. Tomorrow we got 2 streams. The first stream is Final Fantasy X-2, in which we are going to try and wrap up Chapter 2. Second stream will be Ace Combat 0, as we finish up our first playthrough of the Mercenary Path. Then Wednesday, 2 streams. First stream, we will finish RoboCop Rogue City. And there's currently a poll in the Discord. I believe it's pinned in Ghost Eye, where you can pick which game you want to replace it the following week. The choices are Horizon Zero Dawn, PC, New Game Plus, mods, the works. Halo Master Chief Collection Replay on PC with actually good audio, not shit audio. Lore Accurate Carolina, PC Baldur's Gate 3 with mods, namely Hand Cannon Carolina. Or option 4, Canon Dark Urge playthrough, Baldur's Gate 3 PC modded. That poll will be open until next Tuesday. So not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. Then Wednesday evening will be Sniper Elite Resistance. If the entire Floof crew is available, we will be doing survival mode. If Sen is not available, then Floof has volunteered to sit out so I can do the propaganda missions, since those are single player only. Then Thursday in the aircraft showcase for Ace Combat 7, we're going to finish up the American fighters for the base game with the F-22 Raptor, the F-35 Lightning, and the YF-23 Black Widow. Depending upon time, we may do the European aircraft, which would be the Mirage 2005, the Rafale M, the Typhoon, and the Gripen E. If not, oh well. We'll do it the following week. Then on Friday, first stream will be Dragon Age Origins. We're heading to the Brazilian forest to recruit the Dalish. Second stream will be Arkham City as we make our way up Wonder Tower to put it into Protocol 10 once and for all. Then finally, then next week, Saturday, will be Cyberpunk 2077. It will be on patch 2.3. I'm hoping the mods will not break. If they do, then I can I'm assuming I'll just be able to load it normally without the mods. But I don't see the campaign pausing, so we will continue on in Haywood, doing side quests and other stuff. If the mods, or if the update does break the campaign, then I'll figure out something else. And then next week, Sunday, in the Insanity of Victor Shepard, it's Priority Tachanka. We're going to cure the genophage. And do, if we have time, we'll do other side quests before up to the Citadel coup. Alright, thank you all for joining me. I hope you had fun. Again, I apologize for the rant against Windows, but I mean, I got pissed because they forced updated my laptop while I was using it. So, I gotta figure out how to leave an angry review. Anyway, take care. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow in Final Fantasy X-2. See you later.